Hello, everybody. Wolfgang here. Today is Thursday, June 26th. Another hot day here in Cincinnati, Ohio. I hope everybody's staying cool. So, how we all doing today? Staying cool. It wasn't a bad day. Same old crap. It actually, I have a thermometer, thermostat. No, thermostat. I got a thermostat hanging on the thermometer at work, about the size of one of those round clocks. Tells the temperature in our shop, well, in our area. It got close to 100. I was like, damn. There's another section. It's called Deber. I used to work back there, and it's hotter. It was like 103 back there. I don't know. I don't know who watches my videos, so I'm not gonna say much about my job. I don't know if you can get in trouble for bad mouthing a company or not. It's slander. But anyway, I'm working. Like I say, at least I got a job. So, man. My tomato plants are doing good. Anyway, the article I found, it's the pilots that flew the B-2 bombers to Iran, and I guess some people were able to ask them what they thought. So let me share this article with you. I find this stuff kind of interesting, just like the story I read about how long they're up in the planes. Man, my nose is clogged up. How the U.S. bomber pilots reacted to historic strike on Iran nuclear sites. The heroic pilots who helped drop the 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs on 3 of Iran's nuclear facilities in a super secret mission over the weekend were awed by the explosive power of the devices, according to the chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff. Make sure I have this set up. We know that the trailing jets saw the first weapons function, and the pilot stated, "This was the brightest explosion I've ever seen. It literally looked like daylight," Lieutenant General Dan Kane explained during a press briefing Thursday. Kane also emphasized that the GBU 57 series MOB, massive ordnance penetrator, heavy-duty bunkie busters don't leave impact. Craters shooting down skepticism that the mission wasn't successful. Yeah, they said, they're going to be back up and running within weeks. Satellite images released after the mission show 6 holes where the deep diving bombs appear to have penetrated the mountain above. Iran's Fordow nuclear plant. Let's see. During the press conference, which was seemingly intended to disabuse reporting on a leaked low-confidence Defense Intelligence Agency assessment that Iran's nuclear program may have only been set back months. Kane played a jaw-dropping footage of the mob attack. Unlike a normal surface bomb, you won't see an impact crater because they're designed to deeply bury and then function, Kane said. 5 weapons were tasked to enter the main shaft, move down into the complex at greater than 1,000 feet per second, and explode in the mission space. He explained about the attack on Fordo. The U.S. military had specially developed the mob to deal with the Fordo fuel enrichment plant after learning about its construction nearly 15 years ago, Kane said. Prior to developing the 30,000-pound heavy-duty bunkie busters, that's what I'm calling them from now on. They're bunkie busters. The military had assessed that it didn't have a weapon that could adequately strike and kill this target. I'll spit it out yet. The crews that attacked Fordo were from the active duty Air Force and the Missouri Air National Guard. Chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff said of the pilots. The crews ranked from captain. God, I can't talk today. So instead of captain, they're called captains now, to colonels. And most were graduates of the Air Force Weapons School headquartered at Neals Air Force Base in Nevada. I will state for the record that there is no beach volleyball or football at the Air Force Weapons School. He had making a joke about Top Gun reference, blah, blah. Ha, ha, ha. Little military humor. Kane had a video call with the crews recently and noted that there were both men and women involved in the daring attack. So what? They're pilots. This felt like the Super Bowl. The thousands of scientists, airmen, and maintainers all coming together, he remarked. One last story about people. When the crews went to work on Friday, they kissed their loved ones goodbye, not knowing when or if they'd be home. Late on Saturday night, their families became aware of what was happening, and on Sunday, when those jets returned, their families were there, flags flying and tears flowing. I have chills literally talking about this. Not me, the person that. The country's highest ranking military officer underscored that our forces remain on high state of readiness in the region, prepared to defend themselves. Our adversaries around the world should know that there are other DTRA, Defense Threat Reduction Agency, team members out there studying targets for the same amount of time and will continue to do so, he said, of the group that developed the mobs to use against Fordo. At one point during the briefing, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, who raged press repeatedly, was pressed about why he congratulated the boys for the successful mission. I'm very proud of the female pilot, just like I'm very proud of those male pilots. And I don't care if it's a male or female in the cockpit. And the American people don't care. Have sex, clap back. We don't play your little games. And I did see that video. He finally told some fucking reporter, stop with this woke bullshit. He would just in reference when the boys come home, and then a reporter's got well, I heard there was a female on. Well, there was, but it was just don't twist it, don't make it into something stupid. But yeah, I mean, you can check that video out. But good job for those guys, and to keep that shit tight-lipped. Don't say a fucking word until the job's over. Sometimes they can't even talk about it until 10 years later, depending on what the mission was. Maybe 20 years, I forget. Some of the SEAL teams, some of the stuff that they get into, and it's probably just not the SEALs, But when they go out on a mission, you know, and they're still in the service, they don't talk about it. And even after they get out of the service, they're still not allowed to talk about some of the stuff. So, but anyway, this Wolfbang. I hope everybody has a great Thursday. Blessed be, stay safe, and I will bullshit with you all later. Bye.